The moment you start explaining why you're not the bad guy, you've already agreed to stand trial. And the person judging you, you just handed them the gavel. Here's something almost nobody notices about themselves. When someone questions you, your decision, your character, your worth, your mouth opens before your brain checks in. You explain, you justify, you give reasons nobody asked for. It feels like defending yourself. It feels responsible. But watch what actually happens. The second you defend, you accept a frame, that their opinion of you is a verdict you need to overturn. You've made them the judge, and you, scrambling for evidence, you're the accused. The composed person does something that looks almost rude. They don't take the case. Picture two people in a meeting. Both made the same call. Both get questioned. The first one explains, then explains the explanation. Well, the reason I did that was, and to be fair, 3 minutes later, the room trusts them less. Not because the decision was wrong, because they performed doubt. Every extra reason was a small confession. I'm not sure I'm allowed to stand here. The second person says one sentence. I made the call because it was the fastest path, happy to revisit if it doesn't work. And then, this is the hard part, they stop talking. The silence does the work the words couldn't. Confidence isn't the number of reasons you give. It's the number you're willing to leave unsaid. I learned this the slow way. For years I thought being misunderstood was an emergency, that if someone got me wrong, I had to fix it immediately, completely, with paragraphs. What changed it was noticing that the people I respected most never did that. They'd let a wrong impression just sit there, unbothered, like correcting it was beneath them. And somehow that made them more credible, not less. Now the harder arena, someone you love accuses you of something. Maybe it's unfair, maybe it's half true. The reflex is instant. That's not what I meant. You always do this. Let me explain. And the argument detonates, not because of the accusation, because of the defense. Here's the mechanism. An accusation is a hook. Defending is taking the hook. The moment you justify, you've agreed to argue on their terms about their version of you. You're wrestling a story you didn't write. The non-defensive response isn't surrender, it's refusing the hook. You might be right, let me think about it. Said calmly, it ends the fight without losing it. Because you can't argue with someone who won't audition. But isn't some explaining just communication? Yes, so here's the line, and it's the whole framework. Explaining gives information. Defending begs for a verdict. Same words sometimes. Different engine underneath. 3 tells say which one you're in. 1, you repeat yourself. Information gets said once. Defense says it again, louder. 2, you add reasons nobody asked for. That's not clarity, that's you, quietly campaigning. 3, your body tightens. Real explaining is loose. Defending has a pulse. The fix is almost stupidly simple. State your reason once, then put a period on it. Not a comma, not an and also, a period. Let the sentence end, and let yourself end with it. The thing I'd tell my younger self. Most of the time, the people demanding an explanation don't actually want one. They want to watch you squirm for it. The explanation was never the point. Your discomfort was. And the day you stop providing that discomfort is the day the whole game stops working on you. So here's the reframe. We think defending ourselves is strength, holding our ground. But look at what it actually is. Defending is asking permission to be who you already are. The person who doesn't defend isn't arrogant and isn't hiding. They've quietly fired the judge. They stopped outsourcing the verdict on themselves to whoever happened to be in the room. You don't owe a defense for a life you never agreed to put on trial. Stop explaining yourself to people who were never going to get it. And if this hits something, the next one goes deeper. Why the calmest person in the room is almost always the most dangerous. I'll see you there.